What's up, guys? I'm here with another Showdown battle. This is actually a pretty good battle, so definitely stay tuned. But as you can see, I'm back in the RU tier. And as I mentioned in my last video, I'm a big fan of these lower tiers. So right now, I'm really just waiting for the nice people at Smogon to kind of clean this tier up. So then that way, we can start playing some NU. And I don't know why, I just had this feeling that with all the new guys that got introduced and all the new mechanics, I feel like NU is going to be a very solid tier this gen. And you know what? With all the guys that are kind of stuck in limbo between tiers right now, maybe we'll even get an official PU tier, which I think would be awesome. I would be so down for that cause. But yeah, let's get into my team a little bit before the battle. All the way on the right, I have a Weezing, and you know what Weezing does. He's just a physically defensive wall. This one's got Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, and Pain Split. Probably a pretty standard Weezing set. Next to him, a Violate Magneton with Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch, and T-Wave. And you usually don't see T-Wave on Magneton, but as you may notice, my team is kind of slow. So getting some paralysis on some things could definitely help out. Next up, we have Cacturne. And Cacturne's really cool. I actually really like him, but like I kind of just mentioned, he's just very slow. Not to say if you get him set up, you can't sweep with him, because you definitely can, as long as you're playing your cards right. But this set I'm using is Life Orb, Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, Seed Bomb, and Drain Punch. Again, probably a pretty standard set as far as Cacturne's concerned. But next to him, we have Heatmor. And if you've been following my channel, you should know that I love Heatmor. One of my favorite guys, definitely my favorite shiny. I don't know why he's not shiny. I guess I was just too lazy to click those few extra buttons. But it just sucks that his stats are so mediocre. I've tried a couple different sets, and this is probably my favorite one. This is a Life Orb set with Fire Blast, Giga Drain, Focus Blast, and Sucker Punch. And after a Flash Fire boost especially, this thing could actually tear some holes in teams. Fire Blast Sucker Punch combo is pretty great. I have also recently tried an Assault Vest set, because I think Heatmor is decent special bulk, but at the same time, without the Life Orb, I don't think Heatmor hits hard enough by itself to really be a viable Assault Vest user. It's still pretty good, but that's just my opinion. I would take this set over that one. Anyway, next to him, you should see my man, Shuckle. And you should already know what Shuckle does. If you have not seen my mini Shuckle sweep that I posted a while back, definitely go check that out, because it's pretty awesome. But this is actually a totally different Shuckle set. This is a pure support set with Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Rest. This is actually the first time I'm using Sticky Web on a team, but as I mentioned, my team is pretty slow, so it kind of makes sense. And Shuckle is just a great wall. This one's more specially defensive, and with Rest, he's just so hard to kill. He always stays alive, and he's just a nuisance, and that's why he's awesome. And the last guy on my team is actually a set that I really haven't seen or heard too much about, but it's an Assault Vest Malamar. And it's pretty cool, because Malamar is, decently bulky. Not great, but he's got some pretty good bulk. And most people only run offensive moves on him anyway. So I got, of course, Superpower, Psycho Cut, Night Slash, and I actually have Facade on this thing. Because this gen, if you get burned, Facade actually completely negates the burn. So it's nice if I do get burned, at least I have a move to hit hard with. So yeah, that's the team. Let's get into this battle finally. I think he's going to lead with Seismitoad to get his rocks up. So I lead with Shuckle because I really want to Toxic that thing, but now he starts with Jump Fluff. And Jump Fluffs usually go for Sleep Powder, so I switched to Cacturne to take that, but he ends up subbing. And now I've also seen Jump Fluff with Acrobatics, so just to scout for that I switched to Magneton, but he ends up going for Giga Drain. So that's kind of curious. He doesn't have anything to hit Cacturne with, which is good to know. And then he Leech Seeds, which means he probably does not have the Sleep Powder. So that's great. I'm free to Volt Switch, break the sub, go into Weezing, and I'm just going to go for a safe Sludge Bomb. Don't really lose anything by it, as he goes into Skunk Tank. And I'm going to try and burn him, but he does show the taunt. So that's good to know. If this is a more bulky Skunk Tank set, then he probably does not have the Fire Blast or Flamethrower, so I'm safe to go into Magneton as he tries to Poison Jab, which does nothing, obviously. But now he switches to Seismitoad's IT Wave, so that does nothing. And I'm just going to go into Shuckle. He is going to get up his Stealth Rocks, and he's going to Scald me, and look at that. Shuckle is just taking a hot shower right now. This is just like a day visit to the spa. He keeps scalding. Shuckle's just like, oh yeah, that's really relaxing. It feels really nice. The nice warm water. But I get on my Sticky Web. That's great after I Toxic him. So Shuckle did some nice work. I'm actually going to switch to Cacturn now because I do have the Water Absorb. But he ends up missing a Toxic, which as you'll see does not matter in the slightest. And right here I was so close to going for a Swords Dance. But I didn't. I probably could have swept his team if I did. But he ends up getting that Sap Sipper boost. I just get some damage off with a Drain Punch, and he just ends my life with a Mega Horn. So that sucks. Cacturn's down. But I am going to go into Malamar now. The Dusclops switch is really obvious, but I'm just going to go for a Superpower anyway because I am not going to mess around with a +1 Bouffalon. And here I do predict the Will-O-Wisp, go into Heatmore, and now I get that nice Flash Fire boost. So I'm just going to start Fire Blasting some things. It does a pretty good amount, but I'm not going to lie, I thought it might do more. So this may even be a specially defensive Dusclops. But either way, that thing dies to 2. Luckily, I hit them both. Now, Delphox is in here, but I'm almost dead as it is, and there's still rocks on my side of the field. So I'm just going to stay and go for a Sucker Punch, get some nice damage. And Delphox is now at 25%, which means if I can get up rocks, that thing is going to die on entry. So definitely going to keep that in mind. But before that happens, Shuckle's going to come in here, take a quick nap, get all his health back. And I'm just sitting nice. Full health, that's great. Predicting the taunt right now, I'm going to go into Weezing. Just, I don't know why, but he actually shows Defog. And that is great. I am very okay with that because I no longer have rocks on my side. Just going to Shuckle now to burn some Sleep Turns. I figured he would taunt then, but because Sleep Turns don't reset this gen, it's definitely a good thing to keep track of. And he's going to go for a sub, but I'm just going to go back to Magneton because as we saw before, aside from Leech Seed, there's not much he can really do. So he Giga Drains, that does nothing. I'm going to Volt Switch, break the sub, right back into Weezing. It's the same shit as we did before. No surprise there, but here I do predict the Skunk Tank switch, go for a Will-O-Wisp. But he makes a good play, goes to Seismitoad, who 1 is already statused, and 2 resists both of my attacks anyway. So that's a safe switch for him. I'm going to go back into Shuckle because that's the only thing that wants to take a Scald. Which is funny because it's super effective, but it's true. I can burn off another turn of sleep right now as he switches into Skunk Tank. I know he's going to want to taunt me. So here I'm actually going to switch into Magneton, which, you know, probably could have done before, but it's whatever. I'm just going to go for a Flash Cannon, figure the Seismitoad has come in. Now look at that, that was a not very effective hit that did 23%. I'm going to switch into Shuckle, and this Scald is a super effective hit, which says 28%. That is just great. Shuckle is awesome. I am going to wake up this turn, and I'm going to get on my Stealth Rocks. Like I said, definitely want to get those up because then Delphox will be dead. And not only that, but I can take one more Scald. He's going to get the burn, but I don't care because I'm going right back to sleep, get all that health back, and once again, Shuckle is just full health, not dying. That's what Shuckle does best, and it's great. So here, I'm not scared of the Seismitoad. I'm just going to stay in, burn my Sleep Turns. He goes for an Iron Head, which does some decent damage. But now I figure if that's his best move to hit me with, then I can go into Magneton, who 4 times resists that. But I get the shit predicted out of me. He goes for the Earthquake, and that just decimated Magneton. But I can go into Weezing now, go for a Sludge Bomb on something. He ends up firing off Seismitoad, so that's cool. He's going to go for Skunk Tank now, and here is where I start to get some momentum. I know he has Taunt, and he knows that I know that he has Taunt, so thinking that that's a very obvious play, I'm actually going to go for the Will-O-Wisp despite of that, as he goes for Defog, so I do get the burn off on that thing, which is great. Now I predict the switch, go for a Sludge Bomb, and take out half of this Jumpluff's HP. Yep, that's how you say it. HP. He ends up switching out. I lose nothing by going for Sludge Bombs again. He switches into Skunk Tank. That's cool. I'm going to go for a Flamethrower now, which, you know, does a little bit more. But now I'm just going to go for Sludge Bombs in case he wants to switch in Delphox, because my rocks are gone now, which sucks. But luckily, and I say luckily, he actually lives the Sludge Bomb. And what's nice about this is that I can actually switch in my Shuckle now. And by doing this, that actually ensures that when Skunk Tank dies, he will not switch in Delphox. If I had left Weezing in and Delphox switched in, then something on my team would have had to eat a Fire Blast or something, which would have really sucked. So going into my Shuckle would bait out either this Jumpluff or the Bouffalant, which was definitely my better play in the long run. Now I get Leech Seeded, that's fine. I can get up my Sticky Web, which is very important because that means my Malamar will be able to outspeed the Bouffalant and superpower it. We finally see there that Jumpluff's last move is Encore. So that's great. He can Leech Seed me, but I'm going to kill him. Now, going for Psychic was kind of a risky play here, but either way, I do have Shuckle who could take the Psychic or the Fire move. You know, I still had Malamar, that's why Psychic wouldn't be kind of risky. And I can go for Toxic here because that's literally the only thing I can do to either of these guys. But he does end up switching to Bouffalant, which means as long as I don't get flinched, I can get my rocks up. And I get them up right there, as you guys saw, which means that is GG. Bouffalant's going to go down, and Delphox is going to die on entry. Even if I did flinch, I think I would have won, because thanks to the Sticky Web, Malamar would have outsped, and I could have taken a hit from Delphox because I do have the Assault Vest. So that was a very good game. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was actually a really clean game. You know, there wasn't really any hacks or anything crazy. So yeah, I had fun. Again, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See ya.